is Hideout and welcome back to the Pantheon, where in Strad we've done it, apart from Lind. I don't think I've done Lind. I'll be doing Lind soon. But mainline cards, we've done them all. And because Odric is the last of them, look at him. He's vampirized. You know, everything pure and good has been destroyed out of him. Odric, Blood Cursed, 3 mana, 3/3. Excellent and limited. Vampire Soldier. When it enters the battlefield, create X blood tokens where X is the number of abilities from among Flying, First Strike, Double Strike, Death Touch, Haste, Hexproof, Indestructible, Lifelink, Menace, Reach, Trample, and Vigilance. Found among creatures you control. Count each ability only once. So, you know, you can end up with a ton of little artifact tokens. Do I like this card? Well, it's sort of taking advantage of the things that Odric liked, but in a new and unique way. So I do like it. The enter the battlefield effect, it's abusable. You can get tons of artifacts, and it's cool to just have all of those abilities knocking around on different creatures. So it is a good deck building challenge. I quite enjoy it. I do like a nice deck building challenge, which is why you should subscribe, because I'm going to be doing videos like this for every single legendary creature. And dear God, they're printing a ridiculous amount. So come along on the journey with me. Or don't, it's up to you. But without further ado, let's have a look at Odric's top 5. And in at number 5, well, we've talked about the fact that we need a lot of, abilities. So let's have a look at some creatures that have a lot of abilities that we could play in the deck. Swiftblade Vindicator, a 2 mana 1/1, is one of the better ones. The Human Soldier with Double Strike, Vigilance, and Trample. There's 3. That's 3 blood tokens. Delicious. Eat the blood. But this is a great card to have. Double Strike is phenomenal. We can go down the route of like buffing creatures up, and if we're pumping this, well, someone's going to die, basically, aren't they? Then there's Aerial Responder, a 3 mana 2/3 Dwarf Soldier with Flying, Vigilance, and Lifelink. Really, really nice. I love these creatures that have just a ton of keywords on them. They're nice and simple, but, it's great to just be able to list the sheer amount of things they've got going on. Then there's the Ceridon Yearling, 2 mana for a 2/2 beast with Vigilance and Haste. Not that exciting, but it is 2 keywords, and the fact that it's 2 mana allows you to get it out before we cast our commander the first time. So our commander will get us at least 2 blood tokens that we can then sift through the deck with. Then there's an adult gold dragon. What does a child gold dragon have? Why have we not been shown this? Does it exist in Dungeons and Dragons? I don't actually care, I'm just questioning. 5 mana for a 4/3 Flying, Lifelink, Haste. Nice little collection of keywords. Then there's Elite Inquisitor, another 2 mana card, which is really nice. 2 mana for a 2/2 with First Strike and Vigilance, and protection from vampires, werewolves, and zombies. So, it's protection from vampires, so him and Odric probably won't get on, but I'm sure they'll stand side by side on the battlefield together, murdering our opponents. Then there's the Angel of Invention, 5 mana, 2/1, Flying, Vigilance, Lifelink, Fabricate for 2. So this creature, it comes in, you can either have 2 1/1 counters or make 2 1/1 colored servo artifact tokens. Other creatures you control get +1/+1. Generally, in this style of deck, I'd always make the tokens because, as you'll see in a bit, we've got a lot of things that make all of our creatures have certain keyword abilities and things like that. And this is just a nice little buff for our entire team before going wide. Then finally, we've got Baneslayer Angel, 5 mana 5/5 Angel, Flying, First Strike, Lifelink, Protect from Demons and Dragons. Really, really cool. Great card. A classic. You might have played with this in Standard, and, it was incredible there. And just having a lot of keywords, it's really good in this deck as well. So those are a collection of cards that are just really good with this commander. And that brings me on to number 4. And at number 4, we're going to be making a lot of artifacts. So taking advantage of them with different things is incredibly important. Something you want the deck to do. And Crackland Engineers is a card you never really see, but it's just so cool when you've got tons of artifacts that you can sacrifice. 4 mana 2/2 Goblin Artificer. Pay a red and sacrifice 2 artifacts. Destroy target artifact. And the thing is, most of our opponents are going to have tons of artifacts, big mana ramp, just big win conditions. They're all going to be sort of artifact based, or a lot of them will be anyway. So just having this here for a single red and sacrifice 2 of the things that we've got, well, we can destroy that. And the artwork, look at the artwork. That goblin with his big sort of, well, is it a wrench, I guess? Big massive wrench about to smash with that little one. It's great. I love this sort of work. It's brilliant. But here are another couple of ways that we can use artifacts to our advantage. Pia and Kira Nalar. 4 mana for a 2/2. When it enters the battlefield, create 2 1/1 color stop to artifact creature tokens with flying. So that goes wide, but it also gives us flying for our commanders enter the battlefield ability. Then you can pay 3 and sacrifice an artifact. Pia and Kira Nalar deals 2 damage to any target. Really nice for controlling the board, and it gives us a flyer. It works in every way that we want to do it and goes wide, which is really nice. Then there's Brea's Apprentice, 3 mana human artificer. When it enters the battlefield, creates a 1/1 color start to artifact creature token with flying. Hey, there's the flying that we were talking about. Really, really nice. And then you can tap this and sacrifice an artifact to choose one. It's the top card of your library. Until the end of your next turn, you may play that card. Or target creature gets +2% until end of turn. So if we've got a lot of double strikers and things like that we just talked about, well, giving +2% to a double striker is phenomenal. But then gaining some card advantage, especially in Boros, really important. So you can sacrifice either, the Thopter that we've got or one of our blood tokens because they are artifact tokens. Really cool card to have in the deck. And it's an artifact itself. Then this is one that I wouldn't ever put this in a commander deck other than maybe this. The Enraged Giant. 5 mana and a red for a 4/4 with Improvise. Your artifacts can help cast this spell. Each artifact you tap when you've done activating mana abilities pays for a course. So if you've got 5 blood tokens, well, we can say a single red, tap 5 of those blood tokens and get a 1 mana 4/4 Trampling Haste, which is 2 keywords, which worked well with our commander. This is a great card for this style of deck. And I just thought, when else would you play this style of card? It's really great in here. Then there's got a Caprichrome. I think that's what it's called. 4 mana for a 2/2 Flash Vigilance. Devour Artifacts 1. So, having artifacts on the field, yes, you can sacrifice them to filter through your deck, but we could make an absolutely massive Vigilant, hey, keyword, attacker in a Caprichrome. So, it comes in Devour Artifacts 1, so when it's sent to the battlefield, you may sacrifice any number of artifacts. This creature enters the battlefield with a 1/1 counter for each of them that it sacrifices. It is what it eats. Ooh, so it's full of blood. Ugh, horrible. But this is a great way of getting a big attacker. But if you don't want to sacrifice all of them, we got Arterial Alchemy. 3 mana for an enchantment. Whenever it enters the battlefield, create a blood token for each opponent you have. So that's going to be 3 straight off the bat. Then blood tokens you control are equipment in addition to other types, and have equip creature get +2% and equip for 2 mana. Now, this is a bit worrying. I've never personally wanted to turn blood into swords. Maybe you have. I'm not going to judge. But this is quite good in the deck. Put it on our commander, put it on one of our double strikers or something with evasion, which is going to be a lot of our cards because we've got a ton of cards with different abilities. And then you can just slam in for tons of damage. Then we've got Oskia the Reconstructor. 4 mana, 4/4 Giant Artificer with Vigilance. Hey, keyword. Pay 1, sacrifice an artifact. Target creature you control gets +2/+0 until end of turn. And tap, pay X, exile an artifact with mana value X from your graveyard. Create 2 tokens that are copies of the exiled card. Activate only as a sorcery. So we could get 2 Caprichromes. Ooh. But this is really good if you're going very much down the artifact route. And just being able to sacrifice a blood token to give something a big boost in power, it's pretty goddamn good. That brings me on to number 3. At number 3, we've got Odric. Just having Odric in the deck and all of his various things, various versions of him, previous iterations, if you will, is incredible because we're going to be having a lot of keywords. So let's play Odrics in Odric. Makes sense, doesn't it? 4 mana for a human soldier. At the beginning of each combat, creature you control gain first strike until end of turn. If your creature you control has first strike, same is true for flying, death touch, double strike, haste, hexproof, indestructible, lifelink, menace, reach, skulk. Skulk? Why skulk? Guess it was a mechanic in the set. Trample and vigilance. So this card, really, really powerful. we can just transfer everything across to everything else. Beautiful, beautiful, just fantastic. It's a human soldier, he's not been vampirized yet. Then a Chroma's Will, another great way of transferring all abilities to everything. And it works well if we have a commander, which we want to have. 4 mana for instant, choose one. If you control a commander when you cast a spell, you may choose both. Ooh, nice. Creatures you control gain flying, vigilance, and double strike at the end of turn. Now that is just going to close out a game. Flying and double strike, oh, amazing. And because it's also got vigilance, well, you're going to be able to block even if you don't finish off your opponent. Then the other option, creatures you control gain lifelink, indestructible, and protection from all colours until end of turn. Keywords everywhere. And Odric, if you cast him after you've cast this, in the second main phase, you're going to get a ton of tokens. There's absolutely 5 or 6 at least. So this is a great card to have. Then we want to have abilities, so let's take them away from everyone else. Archetype of Courage, 3 mana, 2/2 human soldier. Creature control have first strike, so that's all of them. So we're always going to get at least 1 blood token with Odric entering. Creatures your opponent control lose first strike and can't have or gain first strike. I'm the first striker here. It's all mine. Really great card and fits perfectly into the style of deck. And then so does Archetype of Aggression. 3 mana, 3/2 human warrior. Creature control have trample. Creatures your opponents control lose trample and can't have or gain trample. I am the trampler now. Really great card. Works perfectly. And it's nice and cheap, so you can get it out maybe before you cast your commander. Turn 3, play this. Turn 4, cast your commander. At least we're getting some trampling blood. Ugh. Which brings me on to number 2. And at number 2, we've got Gale Powder Mage. 4 mana, 3/3, flyer. Hey! That's exactly what we needed. Nice bit of flying. But whenever it attacks, exile another target creature. Return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. So Odric's ability to get all of these blood tokens is on an enter the battlefield effect. So we want to have some enter the battlefield shenanigans. And it works great in red and white because there's some really good enter the battlefield effects. Similarly, there's Restoration Angel, 4 mana, 3/4 flash flyer. Angel, when it enters the battlefield, you may exile target non-angel creature you control, then return that card to the battlefield under your control. And Odric most definitely is not an angel. Maybe he will be. Who knows? I don't know. How do you make angels on Innistrad? They're just beings of mana? I don't know. But then Stonecloaker is another one that you could also play. All of these have flying as well, so Odric at least is going to get a blood flying token. 3 mana for a gargoyle with flash and flying. When it enters the battlefield, return a creature you control to its owner's hand. When it enters the battlefield, exile target card from a graveyard. So much utility. It can save a creature from a board wipe. If you don't choose itself to bounce it, you can get loads of enter the battlefield effects if you bounce itself, and you can just exile people's graveyards in response to a reanimation spell. Wonderful, wonderful card. And then Ephemerate is a classic card here. 1 mana for an instant, exile type creature you control, then return to the battlefield under its owner's control. And then you can rebound it. I think it was something about clouds that this is based on. Cloud Shift, I think. I can't remember. But this is wonderful for just triggering our commander or triggering any of our other good enter the battlefield effects. Wonderful card, 1 mana, and you get to do it twice thanks to the rebound. Which brings me on to number 1. And we touched on this in Odric, giving other creatures all of the abilities. Well, this card cares about if you do that or not. A Chroma Vision of Ixidor. 7 mana, 6/6 Angel. Flying, first strike, vigilance, and trample. So already we've got 4 keywords right there. At the beginning of each combat until end of turn, each other creature you control gets +1/+1 if it has flying, +1/+1 if it has first strike, and so on for double strike, death touch, haste, hexproof, indestructible, lifelink, menace, protection, reach, trample, vigilance, and partner. And this card has partner itself. I don't imagine you're going to be playing too many other partner cards, but they're going to get +1/+1. But this card is everything we want in this deck. It's buffing all of our tokens that we spread out earlier, and then we gave everything loads of abilities with those cards before, and now we're making everything massive so we can slam in for tons of damage. Everything this deck wants is in this card. Then, similarly, cards that take advantage of the fact that we've got all of them: Path of Metal, 2 mana for a legendary enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, it deals 1 damage to each creature that doesn't have First Strike, Double Strike, Vigilance, or Haste. And a lot of our creatures do. Whenever you attack with at least 2 creatures that have First Strike, Double Strike, Vigilance, and or Haste, transform Path of Metal. It's going to transform into Metzali Tower of Triumph. Did I triumph at pronouncing that? I don't think so. It's a legendary land that taps 1 mana of any colour, and you can pay 2 and tap it. It deals 2 damage to each opponent, or pay 3 and tap it, choose a creature at random, that attack this turn, destroy that creature. So a nice bit of pseudo ramp, but it takes advantage of the fact that we've got all of these interesting combinations of different things. Then we've got another Odric, Master Tactician, 4 mana 3/4 with First Strike. When it and at least 3 other creatures attack, you choose which creatures block this combat and how those creatures block. Really, really nice for setting up, absolutely game-winning states, board states, because you can control the combat. You can say, right, okay, all of your little creatures are going to block my big creatures. They all die. You've got nothing left. And, we've swung in with a bit of lethal attacker. So, and it's got First Strike. Hey. Really great card for this style of deck. Then we've also got Zetalpa, Primal Dawn. Keyword soup in its essence. 8 mana, 4/8, flying, double strike, vigilance, trample, indestructible. Oh, absolutely magnificent. And if we're buffing it using the Angel of Ixidor, Akroma, this is going to be massive. It's just going to deal so much damage. Really wonderful card. Then Aurelia the Ward Leader has 3 keywords, but also the fact that we're buffing everything up for combat, and we want to be swinging in with all these different keyword abilities, it gives us an extra combat. 6 mana 3/4. Whenever Aurelia attacks for the first time each turn, untap all creatures you control. After this phase, there is additional combat phase. Ooh, just so many meaty swings are going to go on here. Absolutely phenomenal. And then finally, we'll finish off the section about Akroma with Akroma, Angel of Wrath. 8 mana, 6/6, flying, First Strike, Vigilance, Trample, Haste, Protection from black and from red. Whoa, this card is just everything. This is what, kitchen table Magic is all about. Playing cards that's not going to kill your opponent probably, but they're just so cool. Look at how cool it is. The artwork, phenomenal, by Therese Nielsen. The original artwork's great. Awesome card. I just love this card. Akroma, it's everything kitchen table Magic should be. And those are my top 5 cards for this commander. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Seems like quite a cool commander, a nice enter the battlefield abuse. Really nice. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this, please do like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Bye.